The college football experience and college basketball experience pregame show for Saturday, December 14th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN. You get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet's a brand new sportsbook available in 45 different states. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college hoops and college football with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football and the college basketball experience. This is kind of the first fusion day of both sports. We got Memphis and Clemson that just tipped off right now. Hope you backed me with the Memphis Tigers. I know we have a lock battle going. Myself, Ryan McIntyre, he is on the Clemson Tigers. I am on the Memphis Tigers. And Memphis is out to an early 3-0 lead. But yes, this is a fusion day. Football, basketball, unbelievable day for college hoops, unbelievable day for playoff football, and a bowl game sprinkled on top of that. So get on over there. And actually, this is like a day you just tell the wife, the kids to go out. Don't bother me because it's just there's a lot of fire games. Obviously, we have the big Army-Navy football game. I like to think of this as the most elite rivalry in college sports, but I know it's a big issue. A lot of people say, well, the Iron Bowl, well, Ohio State, Michigan, you got Egg Bowl, you got Holy War, you got Backyard Brawl. There's a lot to throw in there for elite rivalries. Texas A&M, Red River Shootout. There's a lot, but I think Army-Navy can go toe-to-toe with any of them, and that's the big F game of the day right now. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Yes. Memphis up to a 6-0 lead. Should have went live at 10:55 just so you folks could jump on this one. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the NBA Gambling Podcast and the WNBA Gambling Podcast. Give it up for the great Terrell Furman Jr.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Kobe? What's going on? Happy Shaka Smart Day to all those who celebrate. Woo! Happy Shaka Smart as a dog day. Happy Shaka Smart as a dog day to all those who celebrate. Hello. Thank you for giving me such happy holiday cheers. This is one of my favorite days of the year, Kobe. It happens multiple times a year, every year.
Oh, yeah. And happy former VCU Ram coaching day because he's taking on Anthony Grant. He's taking on Anthony Grant and Dayton. So they followed each other, I believe, if memory serves me correct. Anthony Grant left for, what was it, Florida, right? Or was it Alabama? Alabama.
Shout out to Penn
Right?
State as well. You know, some love
Yeah,
over there
Mike
at Penn
Rhodes.
State. Mike Rhodes, Ace Baldwin over there.
Oh yeah, killing it over there. I like them heavy tonight. And shout out to the whole chat. YouTube.com/the college experience. Virgil could not make the Mount Union game, and that is unfortunate. Oh yeah, next year. There's always next year, Virgil. Terrell.
You went to the Mountain Union game?
He was going to go to Mount Union at Salisbury. Big time D3 playoff game going on in Salisbury, Maryland. Big day in Maryland college football today with Army and Navy being there. Johns Hopkins has got a playoff game they're hosting there. But the big one here, you are a Air Force grad. All right?
Kind of.
Fucking Terrell will well, he's an Air Force guy. He'll fucking repair
the academy guys.
Like
the academy guys are maybe the second best part of the Air Force.
Yeah,
I think that us homegrown ROTC cadets top them a little bit.
So what does that put you on for Army Air against Navy? I mean, is there an allegiance between Air Force guys that say, you know what, fuck the Army or fuck Navy? Is when it comes to football, is there one that happens there?
Well, they're both Neanderthals, so we can start there. They both just don't care about proper living conditions at all. The Navy guys will live on hard bunks and wet, cold, rainy weather, and the Army guys, I mean, they'll sleep on the floor. They don't care. I was on the base and I was like, you guys know you don't have to live in tents. We have buildings over here. And they were like, no, we're fine with the tents. We'll stay in the tents over here. I'm oh, all right, fine. You can have that. So nonetheless, this is going to be a lot of grit. You should understand that. It's a lot of toughness in these games. These guys live in bad conditions on purpose. These guys are about football. So the under, 100% to play. 100%.
38 and a half, by the way.
Hard smash. It might
love the under here too.
It might be 17. It might be 17-14, and that's a max. Max 17-14.
Yeah, I mean, if
this could be 10-6. This could be 10-6. Like it could be 10-6. And with that, I'm taking Navy in the points. I just think it's a little bit too many points. Too. I think this is the chance for them to really throw a nice big fuck you over there to Army in one of their greater years. And I think that this is a really good spot where Army may get them and may rattle them early, but they've had time to prepare for Army's triple option. There's preparing for the triple option, then there's preparing for this Army's team's triple option. And they had the time to prepare for that. And I think that's going to be the difference in the game. The fact that they got that extra time with them playing in the conference championship, they got this defense ready. I think they're going to come out with a really good game plan.
I was about to say that. So 17 of the last 18 years, the under has cashed. And the one time it went over was last year, 17-11.
It's due.
Yeah. So and then you have there's so many elements to this. Normally each team gets 2 weeks to prep. Army only getting 1 week because they stormed the field and won the AAC championship in year one. Very impressive stuff by Jeff Monken. But we always like to fade the team that stormed the field the week prior. And then this is kind of at Navy. I feel like, I know Army will have a good portion of the crowd, but I think it would be like 60-40 Navy because Annapolis is less than 10 miles away or whatever. So I'm going to say 60-40 crowd for Navy. The fact that Navy's lost 2 straight and 3 of 4. Brian Newberry's never won in this game, and he's been a part of, I believe, the past 2. With Army winning 20-17 in double overtime in Niumatalolo's final game, where Navy fumbled the ball inside the 3 in double overtime. And then last season, 6-point win. You're getting 6.5. Shop around. Blake Horvath, their quarterback. This was the really selling point for me. He says he's playing in this thing. It said he's questionable, but I saw him tweet out that he's playing. 29 degrees, football weather, baby, and I think.
Oh, Kobe, there's no way you could get me Kobe. You could give me free tickets, and I'm not going to the game. There's no way you could get me to stand out there in 29 degrees.
we're just polar opposites because I seek that out. Whereas,
Yeah, I know.
if you gave me free tickets to, I don't know, some game at a dome, I'd be like, no, I'm okay. Like Ford Field. Last time I went to Ford Field, I was like, this is about the most boring fucking experience I've ever experienced in my life.
I am convinced that I can get you to go to the Mercedes-Benz Dome just once. It's really nice, Kobe. It's very nice. The bar is amazing. I feel like you would really enjoy the bar. You would really enjoy the bar, and maybe that's what we got to do. And maybe this is what I'm doing
for holiday shopping. I'll join you. For football game, it just doesn't make any sense. If you want to go for holiday shopping, we can hit the Zales. We can hit the fucking. I'm
gonna blindfold you, and I'm gonna put some headphones over your head.
Check out the food court on the third floor. Anyway, yeah, we're both on Navy. Let's talk about the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's talk about the Celebration Bowl.
Cool.
We do have this line has crossed 0.
Oh.
Jackson State was the favorite earlier in the week. T.C. Taylor took over for Coach Prime.
Yep.
He's done a great job. Jackson State hasn't won the Celebration Bowl since 1998, I think it was. Something like that. They did win 37-7 last year against South Carolina State. That was Buddy Pugh's final season.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina State, if folks were wondering, was not projected to win the MEAC by any means. North Carolina Central was that team with Trey Oliver and company.
Mm-hmm.
But they've had a quite the magical year. And now they win the MEAC. They're heading to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium that you speak so royally of and so high of. And they're taking on T.C. Taylor. And now, like I said, the line has crossed 0. And, I really have caught South Carolina State a few times this year with their quarterback Phoenix, and then Chennis Berry coming over from Benedict has been awesome as a first-year head coach. I think he's got a real bright future in football. To me, as long as it stays below 3, I think South Carolina State is the play. It's at 3. Like I'm saying, like if it goes to 3.5 is when I might be interested in taking Jackson State. Of course, I bet this earlier in the week, so I actually got 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think South Carolina State is the right side. What are you doing here?
Flowchart game, baby. That's it. Flowchart game. MEAC, SWAC. Take the MEAC every time. Every time. Remember that game that Jackson State was a 15.5 point favorite in the Celebration Bowl against Central, and they lost outright? It's what happens when you and that's why this line has crossed the number, because people are finally starting to realize that the MEAC has a dominance, because over here on the East Coast, where we handle business, we play defense. We don't just go over here. I don't care if you have this advanced passing game. I don't care if you think that your offense is all this. We play defense over here. We run the football down your throat, and we absolutely make sure that this is a game that we control the time of possession, we control the clock, and we make the explosive plays after being able to dominate in the run game. And I think that's exactly what South Carolina State is going to do here. They're going to focus on the run, have a more run-heavy based attack against this team, and then be able to play some really, really solid defense when it matters. So I think South Carolina State is going to get the dub. I'm on the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. Humble bystander right here, no longer in the MEAC, so it's not like I am on one side or the other. Humble bystander here as a CAA representative. Shout out to North Carolina A&T Aggies and Coach Sean Gibbs. South Carolina State, -3. It's a lock.
Woo! Woo! I'm with you. Let's go. Excited to watch that one early. Kicking off in 40 minutes. At that same time, Incarnate Word, 11-2 regular season. One of their losses was a 45-24 loss in Brookings, South Dakota back in September, on September 7th. The weather's a little bit different today as it's 19 degrees with snow. Incarnate Word starting quarterback. Zach Calzada. A lot of people might be familiar with him. He started a season at Texas A&M for about, 10 games there. He's thrown 34 touchdowns on the season. He's coming into Brookings, South Dakota to take on the two-time defending champion South Dakota State Jackrabbits. The line has crept up. This was to me, like 16, 17 earlier in the week. It's at 21 now, and I can't help but think the snow's probably got something to do with it, because when you got a team that's number 10 in the nation in passing the ball, which is Incarnate Word, you have South Dakota State, a team third in the nation, pushing the ball. I tend to think the weather might have something to do with it. 21 is a big-ass number, which is why I'm actually going to take Incarnate Word to stay within 21. But Jackrabbits win by double digits. Give me what's that?
Question for you. Well, I guess you do think it because you're taking the 21, but in Incarnate Word's defense against this South Dakota State offense, are they going to be able, I know Incarnate Word's offense can kind of keep up and make some big plays, but is that defense going to be able to get if there's a stop or two on the Incarnate Word side, can the defense force a stop on their side and not let this get to 28, 35 plus points?
Yeah, a little concern. They gave up 45 points the first time.
Yeah, that's the concern, because if they give up 45, as much as I love the offense, and I think, that's a lot of points to be given up. They scored 24 and they still didn't cover the number. But it's hard to do that twice. I'm with you. Give me Incarnate Word.
Yeah, I just think the fact that it's the end all. I know I ate shit on Idaho last night. Looked good for the first two drives, and then just the wheels fell off. I think they can stay. Give me like a 35-17 type of game. So on that one there, and that's the first of the FCS playoff games. I'll go back to the FCS in a second. I just want to go kind of chronologically throughout the day. We just have so many games. Texas A&M, Purdue, and college basketball going on at the Indianapolis Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
We're going over to we're crossing over. We're crossing over. This is the first time this season, Kobe.
I know. It feels good, doesn't it? Where you just got college basketball, kudos to them today because they loaded up the fucking slate. Purdue's laying 2.5. Obviously, no more Zach Edey, but they did take down Alabama. That was at home. I don't know. This is still a home game to me. This will be a Purdue crowd. Buzz Williams, the Texas A&M. My projection to win the SEC, looking very phony the first week or two of the season, but seems like they turned a corner after that Oregon loss where they took down Creighton, they took down Rutgers, they took down Wake Forest, they took down Texas Tech. 4 in a row, Power 5 wins. Can they make it 5 in a row as they head to West Lafayette? Personally, I am on the Boilermakers because Texas A&M just beat their rivals, Texas Tech. I think it's a little bit of a tough spot because you beat Texas Tech. Yeah, last time they stepped on the court. I know you're a Buzz guy. I like Buzz too.
I was about to say, Buzz is a dog. I mean, Kobe, I know that I've been focused on a lot of other things this football season, so I haven't locked into college basketball as much as I probably should. But I mean, from what I know, and what I know is that we bet Buzz Williams as a dog.
I normally am with you. I against Texas Tech, it cashed. Against a lot of these other ones, I don't think it was Wake, but the one prior to that, Creighton, I believe it cashed. They're 315th in the nation in shooting the three.
Oh my God!
Right? Purdue is number 7. Now, I will say this: Purdue will have a harder time shooting the three because of the way Buzz Williams teams play defense. I think
that's what it is for me. I think that's what it is for me. 9th in the league in defense right now for this Buzz Williams team, and they've been really, really locked in on that side. They're forcing teams to shoot under 45% on the year, and I mean, I think if you take that efficiency away from Purdue, they don't look as good, and it's probably a little bit of a struggle. And I'm not gonna lie, I could see Buzz getting out here on the road and getting out to an early lead. Maybe this is a game where Purdue has to fight back and come back. But I don't know. One possession? I wish I was getting a little bit more points, but I'm gonna trust Buzz here. Yeah, give him Buzz plus the points.
See, the difference for
he
me,
he makes them work for this. They have to work for this W.
the difference to me is that it's just going to be an all Purdue crowd, and I think that edge will give them the momentum.
Is this their first true road game? No, because they just played Texas Tech.
No. But the Texas Tech one was in it was a neutral. But they opened the season at UCF and lost at the buzzer on their home court. There was a great game. Yeah, I'm on the Boilermakers. Boiler up. Fascinated by that game, but also so that's the noon game. Obviously, right now, Memphis and Clemson playing. Penny Hardaway and the Memphis Tigers up to a 7-point lead with 11 minutes left in the first. Then at 1 o'clock, so in about an hour and a half in Atlanta, where the Celebration Bowl is happening, you also have Auburn.
What?
Which is Auburn.
Both of these are going off in Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Why am I not in Atlanta this weekend?
This is a triple header, too. This event's a triple header. Auburn, Ohio State. State Farm Arena there. Auburn now laying 12.5. It was 11.5 yesterday. I just think Auburn. Auburn's like an hour from Atlanta. I think this is much like the Purdue angle. I like laying the big number. I think Bruce Pearl and Auburn gonna blow out Ohio State here. What are you doing here, man?
Yeah, I'm not really too impressed with what I've seen from Ohio State. I've seen a couple of people talking about Ohio State on the spread and the money line against this team, but I don't know. I just think Auburn's another level. They look pretty dominant, and pretty much majority of the games they played, a la the Duke game and the Iowa State game, but they beat a pretty good UNC team handily. Memphis, I'm very impressed by. They beat them handily. Like, they were able to cover that number against those teams. And then they did what you're supposed to do against the Richmond Spiders and just handle business. It doesn't seem like this team is taking it lax or allowing any lower competition to even feel like they're remotely close in the game. It's only the teams that they're playing on their level that are able to compete with them. So I'm with you. I don't understand this is a big number, but they just been really dominating teams, and I can't see the angle for why I want to bet Ohio State. I don't see a path for Ohio State to win the game. I think Auburn is going to be able to be a force inside, and that's really, really going to mess with them. So yeah, I'm with Auburn laying the points here.
Let's go. Virgil in the chat really liking Auburn as well. Load up on that. Another one I want to key in on. Well, actually, before I get that, if I'm going chronologically, don't forget the beautiful D2 playoffs where Valdosta State is hosting Minnesota State. Shout out to my guy, Mike Leach. May he rest in peace. And he was one of the guys that got it going at Valdosta way back in the day. That's where the air raid offense really took form. I think no line on this, but Valdosta handles Minnesota. If you're on cut or something, challenge your buddy. Valdosta rolls against Minnesota State in the D2 playoffs there, kicking off at noon as well. You have a couple in the D3 playoffs as well. John Hopkins, as I was alluding to, Johns Hopkins taking on Mary Hardin Baylor. Susquehanna and Bethel going on. And Salisbury Mount Union, as the chat was referring to earlier. I'm going with that Maryland sweep. Give me Salisbury and Johns Hopkins. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, a lot of great games all throughout the day. So you'll be able to check all that stuff out. Next up, going chronologically on some of the bigger games of the day. There's a lot of little brother, big brother games that I love.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of them on the slate.
Are we looking at the same one right now? We might be.
Which one are you alluding to?
2 o'clock for college basketball. We got Xavier going up against Cincinnati.
That to me is one of the best rivalries in all of sports. And
it's the one that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. And the hate, like the animosity is pretty big time. Xavier won by 5 a season ago, and Wes Miller, as the head coach of Cincinnati, winless against Xavier in these crosstown in the crosstown shootout here. However, 8.5 is a big ass number. I know it's at Cincinnati.
He can win this and not cover 8.5.
I'm completely with you. I think Xavier. I actually think though the pressure's on him. So if it's a 1 or 2 point game, I still think that you play Xavier with the 8.5, and it's worth the sprinkle because of the rivalry game. I'll load up on these Musketeers plus 8.5, sprinkle the money line at plus 280. Love this play. Seems like you're with me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
But I think Cincy's gonna win. I think West is gonna get his win. But I do love the 8.5, and I may be looking at a plus 8.5 Cincy on the money line, little parlay, get some nice plus money there.
Ooh, there we go. Georgetown.
Hey, I like to live in the middle. There's a middle road right there. I love to live in the middle.
Georgetown, Syracuse. Ed Cooley hasn't got a signature win at Georgetown yet, but he's 7-2. They're going up to take on Adrian Autry and the Syracuse Orangemen.
Big East rivalry here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm buying in. I think Cooley's team is better than Syracuse. I know the crowd will be an issue at a certain point, but I think Georgetown's a better basketball team than Syracuse like this year. So I will take the Hoyas. They're getting 1.5. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I like them on the road too here. I think, this is a rivalry game that people aren't really talking about because Syracuse gone off to the ACC. They don't really play this game too often anymore, where they should be playing this multiple times a year. But nonetheless, I just remember Madison Square Garden. This gives Madison Square Garden. This gives big lights over here in Syracuse. I think Syracuse is going to have the home crowd here, but I like Georgetown to be able to go ahead and get this done. Nonetheless, I am looking at both of these two teams, and they're not the best ATS, but Syracuse is 1-3-1 ATS at home this year. Not what you would think for a Syracuse team playing at home for them to be 1-3-1 ATS, but they are.
And Clark brings up a great point. No JJ Starling tonight. This is a guy that has had big time games. He had like 30, I feel like, almost against Texas Tech. He had 38 against Youngstown. This is a guy that it balls out for Syracuse. So even better with the Georgetown play, I feel. Wisconsin is taking on Butler in Indianapolis. Part of that, after that Purdue game, it goes right into Wisconsin Butler. See, I took the Badgers here. Both teams kind of need this game, but I think Butler has let me down a lot this year. And I think Wisconsin's a little sharper to me, like as far as just their losses are more explainable to me. Wisconsin's 0-2 in the Big Ten right now, but 3-point loss to Michigan, 6-point loss to the Illini, tough loss to Marquette. They were undefeated prior to all of that. I think they bounce back against a Butler team where Thad Matta is just everywhere with this Butler team. I mean, losses to North Dakota State, Austin Peay, and getting drilled by Houston. So I don't know. I'm on the Badger side of things. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I just think the level of competition that Wisconsin played the last couple of games is just completely different from Butler outside of the Houston game where they just absolutely got destroyed. So still trying to figure out who exactly I think this Butler team is. I think they're okay, but I don't know if they're on to the next level. Yeah, give me Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I don't know.
It feels like that's the play.
Yeah, I don't know why that game's not at Hinkle. Seton Hall, Rutgers, Shaheen Holloway. Tough season so far, 5-5. Rutgers. I mean, this is in-state battle.
Hey, those freshmen.
Ballers.
But you can't.
They're gonna be the
but
NBA this year.
This is a lot for me, by the way, Kobe.
Oh, what side?
I mean, go ahead. Dog.
You're laying the double digits.
Shaheen Holloway. I'm not laying as big of a number with the two freshmen leading this team. I think Shaheen Holloway is going to come in here with a great game.
I'm all over it.
This is the game that you turn your season around. Yeah, this is the game you turn your season around.
Love Shaheen as a big dog.
Sprinkle on the money line. That is exactly where you love to get him as a huge dog. Pause. And he goes out there and performs way better than expectations. And you got to understand, again, these guys are young. Like, they are young, and they understand that this is a nice little crosstown rivalry. I think that, of course, it's going to be a majority Rutgers crowd, but you're going to have the Seton Hall faithful in there. And I think that Shaheen Holloway is just going to ugly up this game. Like, I think he's going to ugly up this game.
I'm completely with you.
Yeah, I'm all over Seton Hall here. I think that they have a really good spot, and it's a little bit of a letdown too. Is this the first game after the Penn State game?
Yep,
for Rutgers.
Is.
They didn't have a
it
game
is.
in between. Yeah. So this is a little bit of a letdown too after getting that huge win against Penn State, and now you're 11.5-point favorites. You feel confident against this Seton Hall team that's been playing low. Like, yeah, this is Seton Hall catches them off guard here, 100%.
Let's keep this lock train going because I just want to read you this spread. UCLA 8-1 is out in Arizona in Phoenix at the Footprint Center, taking on the Arizona Wildcats. Tucson, hour and a half away, whatever. Arizona 4-4, laying 4.5 points. So an 8-1 team is catching 4.5 points in Arizona against a 4-4 Arizona team. Oh, and I forgot that 8-1 team is off a court storming, or not they were on the road, but their team stormed the court at the buzzer when UCLA banked in a 3 to beat Oregon at the buzzer. I'm all over Arizona here. I think the line is telling you. I think Arizona drills UCLA today. They haven't had many big wins this season. I think the Wildcats win by 8, 9, 10, whatever. Lay the 4.5. What are you doing here?
I like getting teams that are underperforming on the season at home against teams that they feel comfortable with. This Arizona team has beaten UCLA 4 of the last 5 times they met. And a few of those times, Arizona actually was either a short favorite or a dog, and so they were able to get it done. I think this is a good spot for Arizona to try to look to turn their season around. I see, like, this is the part of the year where you get a lot of people starting to bet college basketball a little bit more, and you start to really see who these teams are. And some teams now have the coaching where they can turn their season around in the early part. Like, think of UCLA in years past started off really slow and then been able to get hot going into the tournament, catch fire in the tournament. I think that could be possibly a path for this Arizona team. So I like Arizona to be able to get this done. Shout out to my dog, Steffi Smalls, Arizona grab.
Ooh, there we go. Great opportunity here too to fade the Pussy Pack as they head to Lawrence, Kansas. NC State's catching 14.5 in Lawrence. This NC State team, always a pretender, and I think this is when you're going into the fog. Lay the big number with the Jayhawks,
who losing 2 straight, coming off 2 straight losses, by the way.
Don't let Terrell talk you into this Pussy Pack stuff. All right. I know.
Coming off 2 straight losses.
A lot of time in Carolina. What are you doing here, man?
Don't tell Moneyline Matt, but I'll take the Big 12.
Oh,
I like KU here.
There we go.
Yeah,
huge game going on. Huge game going on in Atlanta. The follow-up to the Auburn Ohio State game. Florida, number 9 in the nation, 9-0, taking on 8-1 Arizona State. My surprise team this year. That's looking like a surprise team. I don't know how the fuck they're not ranked. Florida is laying 6.5, 7. Arizona State's going to give Florida trouble today. Write it. All right. Give me Bobby Hurley in Arizona State. It's the year of the Sun Devil. What are you doing here at this game in Atlanta?
7. 7 is a lot. Yeah, give me Arizona State. Give me Arizona State. Give me Arizona State. Plus the points. Might sprinkle on the money line, but this is an
I
Atlanta
think
neutral
so
site.
too.
Yeah, might sprinkle
I
on the money line here.
I don't think the Florida fans have turned it over to full on basketball mode yet. So I don't know how many Florida fans will be in Atlanta at this game. UC Davis to the FCS front is heading to Vermillion, South Dakota. South Dakota won 27-17 the last time they played, but it was a few years back. This UC Davis team, Tim Plow, been chippy. South Dakota's laying 5. See, this is one where I am all over the dog. South Dakota just didn't look great to me last week. They got by. Meanwhile, UC Davis, I really like this team this year. They're plus 175 on the money line, getting 5, 5.5. Shop around. UC Davis, I think they're live to win this thing. Both of these teams, top 10 offense. UC Davis with the 5th best offense in the nation in the FCS. South Dakota, the 7th best offense. But to me...
Also, Kobe, it's the year of the white running back.
It is. And Laren Larison.
It's the year of the white running back, Kobe. So
I don't know what happened. I feel like we're living in an alternate universe.
I know what happened. I can tell you what happened. I can tell you exactly what happened.
What happened?
So do you remember in Captain America where they took scrawny ass Captain America and put him in that pod and gave him that fucking super serum, and then he was this big strong dude and he started kicking everybody's ass? That's what they did with all the white guys. They just put them in, gave them the super serum, and now they're fucking running backs. Like when does this ever happen? We had Danny Woodhead. Like when did this happen?
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey was the prototype, and then they took his blood and started putting them in all the other white running backs, and now they're starting to play
making
better.
a lot of sense. And now I wonder why they shut down.
My Aaron Rodgers antennas are on.
They shut down the world for COVID, and really they were just building the white running back.
Yep, 100%. It was after COVID. After COVID, the right running back they're everywhere.
I like this angle. You're right.
Ooh, shout out New York Giant Peyton Hillis, by the way. R.I.P.
They had Peyton Hillis blood. They had John Riggins blood. They had Christian McCaffrey blood. And they're just like, wait a second. If the whole world's going to be shut down, we need to do something productive here. Let's go with making the white running back relevant again. I wish they would have done the corner, but I understand that just because you watch like old film of like great cornerbacks in like the 60s or 50s, and it's like pretty honestly mixed. You know what I mean? Like it's like, wow, like this guy's a Pro Bowl white corner, and I'm like, unbelievable.
I'm glad the chat agrees that we're onto something here. There's definitely a secret lab somewhere where they are recreating the white running back. No, Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
They already started. They already started with Cooper DeJean, and watch, they're about to start popping up. We're gonna start seeing. It's gonna be a takeover.
Yeah. I remember playing organized football, and I wanted to play corner. And I like to think that I could have, but I'm pretty sure it was just good coaching being like, Colby, you're not athletic enough to do that. You're not athletic. I remember trying it like the first, like when you first get out there and practice and stuff, and you're like, I can do this.
Was it Patty C a defensive back?
He was, and he was actually pretty damn good in high school. He was actually really good. But my point is that Patty C played QB too. He was an option QB and a corner, right?
I would pay a significant amount of money, to me, not to others, a significant amount of money to anybody that can get me film of Patty C playing corner. Anybody.
Now, I will say
this.
You
can get me film of Patty C playing corner. First of all, you got to figure out what Patty C's name is. I learned Patty C's name on accident, and I was like, oh, that would make sense. But like, first you have to learn his name. Then you have to find the film. If you can do it, I am willing to pay some type of amount of money for it.
People don't know about this. Patty C was actually a very hard hitting corner, but also the worst arm. He played quarterback, and let me tell you, when they had to pass the ball, it was just like, oh God, like the accuracy was all over the fucking place. Like it's just the classic quarterback that could not complete a pass. But Patty C, even I know people see him, 74 Jaeger bombs deep. He also kickboxing. He was a good kickboxer, man. Good kickboxer.
He's the guy at the bar that you just
he
starts messing with you and you start messing with him back and you realize, oh fuck. Why this guy?
There was so I went down to like Virginia Beach. Patty C had a fight, organized fight. And me and like 10 people went down there, like 10 of our friends. And we're thinking like, he's a huge dog. Like the guy's like his record, the guy he's facing, his record's unbelievable. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Patty C whooped his ass. He whooped his ass. It was a, dude, like, I couldn't believe it, man. We all got really drunk.
I would love to know what part of Virginia Beach this was in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we could dig that up, or he might know better than me. But I couldn't. I thought it was like maybe come down there and it's going to be like, okay, dude, we're valiant effort because the whole gym
valiant effort. We was just gonna go support and watch him lose. You thought, hey, Patty C, they thought you were gonna lose, man.
Dude, and the whole stadium was for this other guy. Like they'd known him. It was like, oh, you're fucked. You know what I mean? And he came in there, and Patty C fucked him up. I mean, it was awesome. It was an awesome experience from my side of like knowing a fighter in a fight, and then just like as a heavy dog, and you're just like, whoa, he's actually doing this. Anyway, we got to get more on that story. I would love to know.
And I think, and you know what? Yeah. I think the funny part of the story is that somewhere, some way, about 10 minutes away is a young Terrell Furman that is not doing anything, just hanging around, macking with his friends, doing whatever. Yeah. Crazy how close but far you could be away from people. Like 10, 15 minutes away is a young Terrell Furman that's just hanging around doing nothing. And Kobe's watching Patty C beat some guy's ass.
As a heavy dog. And then we went out on the town.
We got to cross check what year this was.
Whew. If I had to guess, 2004, 5, something like that. If I had to guess, because I think he was out of college. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background there. I'm guessing 2005, maybe, give or take. We're gonna need to ask him about this, but one other FCS game going on.
I'll make an appearance on the post game show one day.
Yeah, and we'll bring this up. Mercer out of Macon, Georgia, heading up to Fargo, North Dakota. Where damn, this line has gone up as well. North Dakota State laid 22 points. I'll be honest, I took Mercer on the FCS show. Yeah, but damn, at what point do you buy into Mercer? Like
never.
Like this was at 16 or 17.
Buy in next season.
I don't know. To me, if this goes to 23, I'm taking Mercer.
What's the difference between 22 and 23?
I just feel like, dude, this line was 15 or 16 when I did the FCS show. It's like getting a whole other touchdown. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump back to college hoops. We got some bangers on the college basketball slate, and one of them is at the Garden tonight, where the Gonzaga Bulldogs are heading into New York City. Not only are they got Shador and Travis and Ashton
Shador and Neighbors playing catch in New York.
I saw that. Right, that's going viral right now. But they're appointing the Heisman. You get the Heisman ceremony tonight in New York City. If I at the same time, you got Gonzaga, UConn at the Garden. Just walk on over, Travis, after you win the Heisman. Just walk on over. Just give your parents the Heisman or something, because we know OJ's got that shit stolen, and Reggie Bush got it stolen by the NCAA. So you watch out with these Heisman trophies. But the Zags are laying 2.5 at the Garden. I'm on the Zags. I know the Garden's like a UConn home game, but UConn has won a couple big games in a row. I feel like they're due from reality. They beat Baylor. They beat Texas. The Zags, meanwhile, coming off that heartbreaking loss to Kentucky where they had that double-digit lead at one point. I think the Zags go into New York City and get that dub. What are you doing here?
Is Caravan playing?
That's a good question. I believe he is. Yes, he is.
I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna take UConn. I think the atmosphere of this game is going to be too much, and with the fans and all of that, and this UConn team, I mean, they've kind of been kicking Gonzaga's ass recently, man. I understand this is a revenge game for Gonzaga, kind of right the wrongs and all that, but I would have felt better if the Zags were were the dog and it was UConn the favorite. I don't know why. I mean, I guess because it's a neutral. I guess I understand. With the big loss, I mean, they lost to 2 unranked teams. It was UConn. No, give me UConn. I think they get right here and they keep it rolling. Give me UConn here in Madison Square Garden. Is not Bobby Hurley, but it's Dan Hurley and it's UConn. It is Madison Square Garden and UConn. I like UConn here. It's literally a home game. Right. Like it's going to be a home game.
It is a home game. That is a home game.
That's crazy news. And I think if it's a home game, there's no way. Like if this is on campus, there's no way that this line is 2.5 Zags. It's like it's flipped the other way to UConn. So I'm taking UConn. I think that the market hasn't adjusted there.
Then you have a heated rivalry. Louisville catching 11 at Kentucky. Both first-year head coaches. Yeah, Louisville. Obviously, you got the news, Kashawn Pryor out for the year, which was a big blow for the Cards. Kirk Krisha is a game-time decision for the Wildcats. Rupp Arena. I think it's just a rivalry game. I know Kentucky blew out Kenny Payne in Louisville last season, but I don't put any
stock into that. It's a different team.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking the point with the Cards. I can't wait. I love watching this game.
I'm not just taking it. You can play the music for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm with you. Lock it up.
Yeah.
Lock it up. Give me these Cards to stay within this number. Kentucky's number 5. They're coming off that Gonzaga win I just referenced.
Yep.
And, well, I mean, they had the Colgate game too, but yes. I just think they stay within the number. I think Kentucky, they can still win the game. It's a big number. So excited to watch that one. Give me those Cards. Tennessee, number 1 in the nation, Terrell. I say not anymore because they're going into Champaign, Illinois.
I seen one of the followers. Shout out to whoever it was on the on X, and he was like, "You don't know number 1 comes into the house of pain and leaves number 1."
Oh yeah,
I'm
with him. I'm with them because both these teams, I actually think it's a bad matchup for Tennessee too. Not only with the home crowd before, like your number 1 coming into a college campus, this place is gonna be absolutely on fire. But both teams are top 10 defensive teams, so they like Rick Barnes' edge normally is they have that great defensive edge. You know, they're number 6 in the nation. Illinois is number 8. I think they kind of neutralize itself, and then you got to ask yourself the offense. Will it be a little more pep in their step, knowing they have the number 1 team in the nation at their home value? Rebounding, Illinois, number 1 rebounding team in the nation. That's the difference. Give me the Illini. Can't wait to watch this game. Shout out to Zach who's saying Merry Christmas. White Tiger, but White Lion works too. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Terrell?
White Lion.
Well, we're like working on
auntie. That's like when my auntie be like, "Oh yeah, I got you them shoes you wanted. You said you wanted some Jordans," and I look and they be Team Jordans. What? Nobody wants these. That is not the same thing, auntie. All right. Nonetheless, it's hard for me to fade the listener when he wrote such a powerfully written tweet / X post talking about how Illinois is going to go in there and knock off Tennessee number 1. My question here for Tennessee on the road is, can the offense stay consistent throughout the entire portion of the game? There's different times in the game where Tennessee's been like this for years, where they just can't get consistent offense and they'll have some scoring droughts. And it's really, really hard to do that on the road as number one, like, because you're getting everybody's best. You're now a marked man. Everybody's looking at you. You can't be having those moments of lapse where you can't score the basketball and you're number one on the road because everybody wants the chance to take down number one. I agree. I think the Illini get it done. It's really, really tough to go in there and get a win as number one. They've knocked off a few number ones in years past, and I think this is another good spot for them to do it one more time against a Tennessee team that I believe still struggles offensively at times.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you too. I'm loading up on that. You referenced this game on the intro. Marquette, Shaka Smart heading into UD Arena to take on Dayton.
Play it.
Battle.
Play it right now. Play it right now.
Terrell locking up the Marquette Golden Eagles. They're dogs too.
Oh,
they're dogs.
Come on, man.
Buddy, I gotta battle you.
It's fine. It's fine. I will. We will convert all haters of Shaka Smart. It's fine.
Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
I think Anthony Grant knows if there's one, like these two know each other. So I think we got ourselves. I think the home crowd's all the difference. Give me the Dayton Flyers. Lay the 1.5. Marquette's off of beating Wisconsin. That's a rivalry game. I think they're going to be a little bit asleep at the wheel for this one. They did dominate that game, and I was on them that game. But this one, I know Dayton's not playing as good as defense as they traditionally play. I think a lot of that has to do with that Maui tournament. I think the numbers might be a little bit skewed there. I think they get it done here.
Kobe, have you seen Cam Jones play basketball this year?
Baller. Yes, I have. And yeah, but dude, I'm telling you, Dayton has gone out,
walked into a rivalry game and gave them 32 in a rivalry game. They knew the person to stop, and they still couldn't stop him.
This Dayton team is a lot better offensively than they've been in some time. Like, I think they can pose some problems of their own with their guards. I like their guards, man. Malachi Smith and Cheeks and Posh Alexander. So, I can't wait to watch this game. It's a great game. But, we got to speed it up here. Oklahoma is taking on Oklahoma State. The rivalry is back, but they're playing this in Oklahoma City, of all places. Neutral, I guess, even though Norman's like 15 minutes away. Oklahoma's laying 4.5. Porter Moser. I think Porter Moser's going to get it done.
That's my guy.
I mean, they're undefeated. He's turning that corner. 13th in the nation, 9-0. I think they get it done. Late night. What's that?
He has the talent to back up the coaching as well. Like, there's a lot of times where he coaches a lot of good games and they'll sneak teams, but he just doesn't have the overall talent. I think he has the talent this year to really, really back up his coaching. I get it. Probably want to take points in a rivalry game. Think it's going to be close. I think Oklahoma State would be in it for a good portion of the game, but I just think that at the end of the game, free throws, all of that, Oklahoma's going to be able to pull through and get this cover. They win by 70.
I'm with you. Give me the Sooners. Boomer Sooner. This is one of my favorite plays of the night. So you have Creighton off of 2 gigantic wins at home. Remember, they stormed the court against Kansas. The next game, they got UNLV, and that was a big game because UNLV had whooped their ass in Vegas the year prior. Now they hit the road to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where Creighton beat them by 3 a year ago when they played.
They're about to get the shit beat out of them.
Oh, yeah. I like laying the 11.5 with Bama. I think Bama's going to win by 20. First, you have Pop Isaacs out for the year for Creighton, and some say that could be a good thing. I don't know. I still think you want as many good players on your roster as you can. So I'm going to lay the 11.5. I've already bet this. Roll Tide. They're a basketball school now. Roll Tide. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that The spot feels also very good. Nice revenge spot for Alabama. I think Alabama is the more talented team. And you've got like you said, Creighton coming off a couple of really, really big games, including that Kansas game as well. Going on the road here, a little bit of a letdown here for Creighton. I think that Alabama can roll.
Yeah, let's go. Shout out to Ram in the chat's asking about he's late to the show. Are we doing FCS? Yes, we covered the FCS games. The game that is about to kick, we took Incarnate Word to cover the big number. There is another big bowl game happening tonight. Gio Lopez, friend of the program, Gio Lopez, by the way, who
is he playing?
has seen our video. I believe he is. I believe he's playing, but their star running back, Fluff Bothwell, is not. He is in the portal. South Alabama taking on Western Michigan there in Montgomery, Alabama at the Crampton Bowl. I think Western Michigan's live here. They're getting 8. They got a bunch of veterans. Yeah. That is the final game. I like the 8 points. I like the 250 on the money line. Sprinkle that.
I'll lock it up.
Yes, let's go. Lance
Without
Taylor,
Fluff Bothwell, I'll lock it up.
Alabama. Yeah, let's go. Broncos plus the points. Sprinkle that plus 250 in the money line. Let's have some fun. All right, we only have a couple minutes. Let's build a parlay here. Let's build a parlay for the good people.
Let's see.
The good people out there.
What can we put together here, Kobe? What do we want to do?
How about this?
We want to mix it?
I was going to give you 2. I think we take Western Michigan football plus 250 on the money line.
Ooh.
Navy plus, was it 215? I think it is on the money line. And in the FCS, the year of the white running back, UC Davis plus 170 on the money line. Those 3 are all live. I think you could round robin it if you want, in case one burns you. But I think those 3, and then we build a college basketball one.
All right, college basketball. Hold on. I'm trying to do this in real time. So let's go college basketball.
Cody is speaking my language here with Bama and Auburn, both laying double digits, but I think both are the right side.
Yeah.
Auburn laying. We have Xavier and Cincinnati. Xavier in the points.
Seton Hall at 5-1 is tempting.
Ooh. Actually, let's back off of the Auburn one. Let's go Seton Hall. I think we just do a regular parlay. I don't think we do a money line.
All right, yeah.
I think we do. I think we do Xavier, Seton Hall, Arizona State, Louisville, and end it with Illinois. Those 5. 5-team parlay. 5-team parlay.
Just cover the number.
What I say? Alabama, Arizona State. That's 2. Right? Illinois 3. Louisville 4. Xavier 5. Actually, did I give it a 16 parlay because of Seton Hall? 6. Seton Hall. Let's go.
Jesus Christ, Kobe.
Let's have some fun. Let's live a little bit. Folks, that's our show.
If you money line those, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna just take the points. But if you money line them too, we might not be here tomorrow.
Folks, give Terrell Furman a follow on Twitter at @reallyrail__. Check out the NBA podcast, the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast. I'm on Twitter at @TheColbyD, the College Football Experience and College Basketball Experience on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Today's awesome. I can't wait for all of this action. We'll be back tonight with the College Basketball Experience for a great Sunday slate. Till next time, folks, this is the College Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are about to be out of here as soon as I can find this. There we go. I'm on the Bonnies, D3.
Yeah, This got me thinking about the good shit. The minute that I seen your grill again, it made me good trip. Good dog the mind back like dog will wind that. Man, I didn't get mad with
Yo, this parlay is insane.
The comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along. You know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on fire again. It's heating up for real. I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for who? Just get it straight cause you caught me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could do. Sing it.